Hi, everyone. It's Dina Mitchell with the Realize Foundation, and I'm back with another interview about our upcoming book, Scars to Stars, Volume 2. And today I'm doing many interviews. I can't speak, but right now I'm with Gail from Hawaii, and I'm so excited to have you be part of this project and for people to hear your story. So, would you like to tell everybody a little bit about your chapter?
Yes, indeed. And I'm exceptionally grateful that you extended the invitation to me to join this project twice now. I said yes the second time around, and it was just a natural, intuitive yes that has yielded so much goodness. So mahalo.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
Yeah, and my story, to encapsulate it, it centers around an experience I had when I was 13, and I was sexually abused at the hands of my then stepfather, my current stepfather. Awesome. Uh, Yet in that moment, right, the moment that began to define the rest of my life, I chose to write about it, and it doesn't really detail uh, much of the experience itself, right? You didn't need a real sense of all that I endured or encountered. It really was what happened after the fact. That experience as a young girl, highly impressionable. I was bright and shiny and just flitting about in life, and suddenly, wham! It was a life changing experience. It altered the direction of my life. It changed how I relate to myself, to others, to the world. I became hypersensitive, hyper uh, diligent or vigilant to watch for danger. And I started wearing all black. And interesting, I'm wearing black now, which is a rare occasion. It just so happens that when something that intense and traumatic occurs, it does start to program your mind and your beliefs about how you feel about yourself, about how you feel about the world at large. For me, it was dangerous then, and I began to shut down and kind of curl in, and my light was dimmed, and I started just feeling depressed and anxious, and actually at some point along the path, and this was now going into my 20s and 30s, that life was being shaped through this lens, that I was diagnosed with bipolar. I have come to be of the humble opinion that that was a misdiagnosis. It was really something that was uh, tossed my way or labeled upon me at a time that it just made sense. This was the prevailing thought, school of thought back then, the conditioned thinking, and it doesn't apply. It was simply that I didn't know what to do with all that wildness, the emotions that I was experiencing, and really the trauma for anybody gets trapped in the nervous system. So I was just flailing through life and going on to have a series of relationships with men over the years that weren't empowering. It was really something that everything just became more chaotic and more intense and more without a word to describe it. And so my book details, yes, the experience that altered my life as a young lady, and then led to how I was engaging the world at large, and holding on to shame and blame and guilt and all of those things that occur as a result of something like that naturally. Yet the book also details how a shift in perception, because perception is everything, altered the course of my life from that point on, where I feel extremely blessed to have had that experience. It's not something you would typically say, perhaps, but now to recognize that it nurtured my sense of empathy. It allowed for me to feel a sense of resiliency, to be then engaging life from a place that I hadn't known before, just by shifting your perception. And A Course in Miracles says a miracle is a shift in perception. So the book really, no, excuse me, my story in the book details how I now see the world and feel deeply in love with life. with myself, with others. It's an extremely beautiful thing to have come from such a ugly, horrific, as it's perceived often to be, experience. I think challenges are a portal to something beautiful, really. So
Yeah,
I want people to know that through my story, that there's a woman out there who's going to read it and it's going to stoke her fire, inspire her, shift her perspective, that such that she can be a phoenix rising from the ashes.
I love that. I love um I know since I've known you, you are a very free spirited person, and I think you are inspiring in a lot of ways because you have you have become that phoenix that you described. And I think the same thing of, like you say challenges and I say scars, because
Mhm.
the scars are anything in our life that have left a mark, whether it's physical and visible or
The
not.
ways too.
um, but it's things that have changed the course of our life in some way, and it could be internally or externally, but changes something that maybe we've held in for a long time because of the shame, or maybe we've taken a long time to process, or something like that. But in the end, I feel like they all make us better and stronger. And they say scar tissue is, I don't remember what the percentage, but it's like much thicker and tougher than your normal skin. So like once you have a scar, it's kind of that badge of honor kind of. I don't know. It's strange how we take things that we've been through and make it kind of a badge of honor for something, but at the same time it's something that's helped us grow into who we are now.
Like a rite of passage.
There you go. Yeah.
Seriously, that portal, rite of passage. And consciousness grows through human experience and then seeks to or naturally beautifies every aspect of our expression. So, do I have any fault or blame assigned to my former stepfather, who, bless him, has passed on from this third dimension? I could consider him one of my teachers along my path because he came in to have that experience. He brought that experience to me, and while it was intense at that moment, right? I remember the very first moment he even said, unzip your robe. I left my body because I could not even grok what he was saying. It was too enormous. And so we do that. We tend to leave our body. We tend to dampen our feelings and really just start to, people get addicted and they just want to not feel. And really the feelings are the most beautiful thing that we could use as our way out of the matrix, to begin to teach the mind that it's not a dangerous world, and everything we see we are perceiving. So it's to us to create this experience ongoing in life is through our own lens. We just have to clear that lens and take off the mud and the clouds so that we can really see truly what's occurring, and truly the power we have within us is accessible. It's accessible. It's inherent. It is ours, just naturally. We just tap into it by virtue of deprogramming and taking that trauma and using it and all the resulting intensity, enormity, and feelings as our gateway to recognizing the truth of who we are.
Very true. Very true.
That's
So
why I named my chapter Filigree Wings of Steel, by the way. It's like you emerge from the chrysalis and you can navigate life with the effortless fluidity of a butterfly. And they can actually fly in storms. They just contract their body and fly in a figure-8 pattern. And I find that fascinating, that even within intense winds, we can still be like in the eye of the hurricane and thrive.
that's really cool. um, Butterflies have always been my mom's thing, and so every time I see a
Really?
butterfly I think of her. Yeah.
Well, pass it along to your mama.
I will. So I want you to also share what your experience has been in writing this story and being part of this project.
Interesting because, again, the honor of your invitation just touched me so deeply, and that I had an opportunity to bring voice to my experience. I have always felt that I've always aired my dirty laundry, so to speak, because we all have it. We're all in this human soup together. And so I've shared bits and pieces of this particular story along the way over the years with various women, particularly of all ages and all stages, and they identify with it, right? As women in those tender spots and those intense moments that we can really understand inherently. And so this process of writing, for me as a Gemini woman, first of all, it was an absolute glorious endeavor because I just love to write and talk and express. And what's interesting is that attached to the story, now going to be in print is a URL, gailelynn.com, that I had nothing to attach to that URL. to It was like, okay, so what am I going to create? For many, many years, I've been feeling this urge, this pull or call to create something, to present, if you will, curate all of these goods I've got, the knowledge I've acquired, wisdom, hard won wisdom. I've been a devotee on the path, so to speak, committed to conscious awareness. And in doing so, I've got just some beautiful things to share that I know will be of service to women. No question about it, without a shadow of a doubt. And so this process of writing led to the creation of this website and these wisdom sessions I'm offering to bring some insight into women's lives when they're up against it, right? Challenged by something. And it's really not, there aren't sessions, by the way, to use any conceptual thinking or emotional processing or analyzing. I don't find that that's where one can really begin to see through those cloudy lenses and recognize the power they have within, and to feel empowered in life. So yes, this writing process unfolded so much more than I ever imagined, for which I'm exceptionally grateful, because I'm also offering a bunch of online courses through my school, Oracle Arts. So you were the impetus, and I was saying yes, and I was ready to write, and it led to all of these other beautiful things that I dare say exceptionally beautiful, that I'm so delighted and honored to present to the world. So thanks, Tiana.
That's awesome. I'm so excited for you.
I can't believe it's like happening.
I think
Oh,
I think that the journey of telling your story, in writing for public consumption is a little different for everybody, but it's always brought about more healing to people and
yes.
always brought about more clarity. Um, and I think it's fascinating because we go into these projects like, okay, we're going to write our story so it can help other people, and then in the process we realize how much it helps us, which is really cool.
Indeed. Oh yeah.
So
So it's a win-win. It's like
absolutely,
better.
yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
Well, I want to tell everybody where they can find us and where they can join our virtual book launch. So we're going to launch this Scars to Stars Volume 2 on September 22nd. And it's going to be a 2-hour virtual event. And it's going to be at 1 o'clock Mountain Time, which is 3 p.m. Eastern and 12 p.m. Pacific, if that helps everyone. And so we're going to get together. We're going to learn more about all of the authors. You'll get to meet all of them. You'll get to meet our board and learn more about this project. We're also going to do some exercises as a group. We're going to get in breakouts. We're going to meet new people. It's going to be a fantastic event. And when we did the first one, I keep saying the hardest thing I've ever done is hit end on that event because nobody wanted to leave. It was really awesome. And I can't wait for the next one. And I'm so glad that we're going to have even more people, I'm sure, because now we have more and more people in our community. And we have a Scars to Stars Facebook group that anyone can find and ask to join. We'd love to have you in there. And you can register for the event at our website. So it's realizefoundation.org. It's at the bottom of this video, and you can go to the events tab and register and see what all of our events are happening, and you can register for any of them for free. You can also register for any of them with a donation, which helps us to keep having more events. So that's what that's where you can find us, and we're so excited about the second book, and we have more coming and more cool stuff coming even after this. So hopefully you'll subscribe to our website and follow us, and we'll keep in touch, and we can't wait to see you there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Gaile and I out of this stream and put up a graphic for you with a little more information about the book. And we hope to see you at our event.
By the way, I've been surrounded by foster dogs, so I've been like feeling tickles on my toes and just bringing that lightness to this moment. It's been so fun. Thanks, Deanna. And a shout out to Cheryl Hunter, who brought us together.
Oh, yeah.
That we are just like soul sisters, the three of us, a trinity. And a shout out to my mom for believing me when I told her that all of that was happening to me when I was 13. That, my heart and soul, my mama.
Awesome.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Deanna. I love you.
Love you too. Hold on. We're gonna show you some more information real quick, and we hope to see you at our book launch. Yay!